I made a video about doing a magic circle for crochet a little while ago, and it was really kind of a comedy video in a way because I didn't have my little tiny tablet set up in a firm position, and I was leaning over a stack of books, and it was just really kind of crazy. But I've been thinking about magic circles for a long time because a lot of people have trouble with them, and I was one of them. For about the first 13 or so that I did for a blanket, I had to keep going back to the video and looking at it again because I just couldn't get it. And so I just kept trying to figure out an easier way than what they were showing. And I came up with, now this is what I showed on the video before. So the cutoff end under my little finger, up around my index finger and the next finger, and then under my thumb. And on the video I made before, what I showed at this point was going under with the hook, pulling up the loop, and then going through. And see, this is where I have a problem with it because it doesn't really want to go through smoothly. Although I do have it now, so, you know, that's okay. I've got it. And now all I have to do is just start making single crochets or double crochets if that's what the pattern calls for. And that's fine, okay, it works. And I also have, though, a simpler way, I think, of doing it that doesn't involve a hook. And it's the same thing, little finger around the other two and under the thumb. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my finger in here, and facing down is important. So finger facing down, hook that same thread that I hooked before, bring it up, but I'm going to twist it as it's coming up, get my thumb in there with the finger, and just pinch, and then pull it up. And the result is the same. I've got a loop, and I mean, it's a solid loop. It's not going anywhere. And I'm just going to pull now on the side toward the yarn ball and put the hook in there and continue as before. Just want to get that side forward. Okay, and continue as before with a chain one and then my single crochets. And I'm going over the tail of it. So it's going to have an extra thickness when I pull it. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I hope. And I'm going to count, always count, even if you think you counted. Okay, so the first thing that you see is the loop you made. It's not the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is the point at which you pull it. You just pull gently, or as firmly as it needs, but you shouldn't have to really go too hard on it. And then you've got to put your hook in there, and this time we're just going through one and through the other, and there's your magic circle. And now you don't have to pull it real tight right away, you can pull it later. But the important thing is to have this long tail here, because when you're done, when you're satisfied with the amount of open you have, and when you have a few more stitches here to work in, what you need to do is you need to take this on a needle and run it around and then run it back the other way and maybe go up into the next row of stitches a couple times to really secure that end. Because if you just cut it off, it will just, see, because it can expand. When it's pulled on and worked on, and kids and animals and stuff, see, it'll expand. And if that end is right there, the end will expand itself right out of existence. So that's a right-handed thing. And if you're a left-handed person, or if you're like me and you do it whichever way happens to work at the moment, in your right hand, over and hold your thumb and reach with your index finger facing down under, and then just get your thumb in that loop and pull up the loop. And there you go. You've got your tail on the right side, your loop on the left side, your working yarn on the right side. Just pull on that working yarn a little bit to get it down to a size that's manageable for what you're doing. Put the hook in. Make a loop, first chain rather. I don't know why I called it a loop. And then you're just going to start going in, pulling it up, going around, and pulling it through, and making your single crochets, or if you're supposed to make double crochets, then make double crochets. But that's all you have to do. And you've got a perfectly good, firm loop there. Okay, so that's my contribution to the horrors of crochet magic circles, which aren't that horrible, actually, after all. Have fun.